Assalamualaikum. My name is Wira Hidayat. I'm a senior lecturer from University Technical Malaysia Melaka. Today we will continue on the topic repetition in computer programming using C++ language for the second part. So for loop is very useful for a counter. For loop can be written starting with the statement for, followed by the expression in the initialization, then the test expression, and followed by the updates. In the bracket, we can put our statement in it. If the statement to be repeated is more than a single line, it must be enclosed by the braces, and we don't need to put a semicolon after the update or after the close bracket. So what happens when we execute the for loops? First, it will set the initialization on the variable. Then on the test expression, the variable that we initialize will be checked whether it meets the condition or not. If it is true, it will execute the statement, and if it is false, it will terminate the loops. Then it will execute the update and then repeat the process again. This is an example of the for loops. The variable that we initialize in here is a count, and we initialize it to be 1. Then, for the test expression, the variable count will check whether it is less or equal to 5. And for the update, the variable count is added with value 1 shown by expression count ++. This will cause the word hello will be printed out 5 times on the screen. Let's look at a closer look into the code. So for the step 1 is the initialization process, and then the step 2 is the evaluation on the test expression, and then on the step 3 execute the body, and for the step 4 it's perform the update and go back to step 2 again until the check shows the result false. The flowchart for the given example can be expressed as in here. Starting with initialization, then the test, the cout statement and the update and the count variable, then go back to the test again. Let's look at another example on the for loop in program 5.9. This program, we just want to print out number 1 to 10 and its square value. If we look at the code, the for loop is starting from line 16 to 18, where this is the statement that we want to repeat 10 times. The expected output is as shown in here, started by the printing of the table properties and then the repetition of the numbers from 1 to 10 and its squares. Let's look at line 15 and 16 in the program 5.9. On step 1, we initialize variable number with constant min underscore number. In this case, min number is set to be 1. On step 2, the variable num is checked whether it is still less or equal to constant max number. In this case, max number is set to be 10. If the expression is true, the statement to print the variable num and its square is executed, and the process is repeated again from step 2 until the test expression is false. The flowchart of the example can be seen in here, starting with the initialization of number, the test expression, followed by the statement execution inside of the loop and update of the variable num. It is recommended to use for loop in the situation where it is clearly requires an initialization, a condition to exit the loop, and the update of the variable at the end of each iteration. For loop is actually a pre-test loop because it tests the expression before executing the statement in each iteration, which means that if you wrongly initialize your variable and it is tested false on the first iteration, your loop will never be iterated.